Welcome to continuation of commerce. In this video, we're going to take a look at home trade. Remember, there are two types of trade. There is home trade and there is international trade. So we're going to take a look at home trade. So home trade, as we discussed before, it is a trade that is conducted within the country. Okay, hence home trade. Okay, it is divided into two categories like we discussed before: retail and wholesale. Retail and wholesale. Okay, these are the two types of home trade. So retail is the buying in bulk and breaking the bulk into smaller quantities. Okay, so retail involves buying a lot of things at once, and then you break those things into smaller units which you can sell. For example, you can buy a 25 kg of sugar, then you package that 25 kg of sugar into smaller quantities that should be sold. That's the retail business. On the other hand, wholesale trade is the buying of goods in bulk and selling them in large quantities. Okay, so wholesale also involves buying of goods in bulk, maybe lots of 25 kgs of sugar, and selling them again in large quantities. Normally, wholesale sells to retail. Okay, so that's how it is. So we're going to look at retail trade in this video. In the next video, we're going to concentrate on wholesale. So retail actually is a word which means to cut again. Okay, to cut again. So meaning to cut something that has been cut. Okay, so wholesale buys in large quantities, in bulk. Okay, then they cut the bulk goods they have purchased. Then again they sell them in larger quantities. Okay, so meaning that they, for example, if they buy 50 bags of sugar, then they are going to sell maybe one bag of sugar. Then retail is going to get that one bag of sugar and cut it again into smaller units. Okay, so that's the meaning of retail. Okay, of course, this is just where the word retail comes from. Okay, so retail trade is the buying of goods in bulk and breaking the bulk to suit the needs of consumers. So the functions of a retailer are two. So a retailer is an entity that is involved in retail trade. So these are the functions of a retailer. 1, to break bulk into smaller pieces. 2, to provide a variety of goods. Okay, so wholesale, normally they may be involved just in maybe selling sugar, selling bags of sugar. But retail, when you buy one bag of sugar, you also buy maybe 10 kg of cooking oil or salad, as we like to call it. Okay, then you also maybe buy 20 kg of flour. Then you package each of them into smaller quantities. Then, of course, you'll be able to sell all those quantities like the way it is in ShopRite and maybe Tuntembas and the likes. Okay. Also, retail offers credit facilities. That is, they can give credit to trusted customers. Okay, you don't do this in wholesale unless in rare circumstances. But in retail, of course, if you trust a customer, you can give them on credit, and this is possible because the goods are in smaller quantities, which implies that they are cheaper. Okay. But of course, I can advise you not to be given on credit if you're a Zambian. People are difficult, they don't pay back money. Also, retail offer delivery on some goods. Okay, they can, if you, of course, they can be saying if you order maybe 20 kg of sugar or 20 packets of sugar, we can deliver to your doorstep. Okay, so they offer delivery on some goods. Also, they pass information to wholesalers. Okay, so the information about what people need on the ground, they take this information and pass the information to the wholesalers, so they can say, okay, people are interested in brown sugar, not white sugar. Then the wholesaler will know, oh, okay, we have to make sure that next time we should be selling brown sugar. So they pass information to wholesalers so that the needs of consumers are satisfied. The job of a retailer, don't forget, one of the jobs is to satisfy the consumer. They also give advice to consumers. Okay, sometimes you may not know the right product which goes with what. So retailers, they're supposed to have the right information to advise you so that you have value for your money. You know what to buy in what quantity. Okay. They also package goods before sale. So when they get a package of sugar, a 2 kg, they of course have to package in smaller plastics where possible. Okay. So they also offer packaging services. They also provide a local supply of goods. So this simply means instead of someone going to town where wholesales are, they may get the goods locally. Okay. Also, they display goods in retail shops. Okay, so if you are a retailer, you have to make sure that your goods are displayed well. People have to see where sugar is, and if possible, put the price there. They provide pre-sales and after-sales services. Okay, what are pre-sales and after-sales services? So a pre-sale service has services that or activities that are done before the actual sale is made. Let's picture ShopRite for example. You go in ShopRite, you want to buy sugar. Okay, you are going to have a trolley, so you are going to put the sugar there. Okay, you haven't made a sale, but you are able to carry the sugar with convenience. Okay, even though you haven't made a sale, that's a pre-sale service. Okay, then the after-sale service is after you buy. A retailer has to provide you with after-sale service. What does it mean? So after-sale service is a service that or is a group of activities or any activity that happens after a sale has been made. For example, you have bought maybe a stove. Okay, so some retailer can offer technical support, meaning that if, for example, it has misbehaved, they can come and help you, or they can call you to tell you what to do. Okay, even some can even offer installation services. Maybe you buy DSTV, then they make sure that you install properly and all. Okay, so those are after sales services. So a retailer should provide pre-sales and after sales service. Not always, of course, depending on what the retailer is selling. Next, we look at location. Okay, you want to establish a retail shop. Okay, to sell anything. My favorite is ice blocks, or for those who are in Copperbelt, what are they called? The freezes in Copperbelt. Maxco, yes. So you want to be selling Maxco. So what factors are you supposed to consider to establish a retail shop? By the way, the presentation and the notes that are going to be shared, the way they are arranged is the way questions are posed in an exams. Okay, so a question can come, outline factors that should be considered when establishing a retail shop, and these should be the answers. Okay, so here are the factors. The first is capital. How much money do you have for you to start selling Maxco? How much money do you have? Whatever business you want to establish, capital is the first thing. Even wholesale, capital has to be considered. Location of the retail shop. Where sorry, I'm not talking about factors you have to consider when identifying the location of the retail shop. I'm talking about factors you have to consider when establishing a retail shop. So the second is location. Where do you want it to be? Okay, because location matters. You can have a location that people won't be able to see, so you might need a location that people can easily see. Okay, you also have to think of your business experience. If you don't have experience, then the probability that you're going to make losses is high, because gaining experience comes at a cost. So you may end up losing a bit for you to learn how to do business. And that's why I encourage all those who do business, when you are failing, it's normal because you are getting experience. Don't give up, because if you give up, it means your work has been in vain. Also, goods for sale. What goods are going to be selling? Is it going to be Maxco? Is it going to be Ice Block? Okay, is it going to be Izazama? So you have to know the type of goods that you are going to sell. Also, method of selling. How are you going to be selling? Okay, are you going to be selling as someone may prefer to be selling online? They advertise on Facebook. Then, of course, they meet with people, or maybe you want to be seated somewhere. Then people come there, they buy. Okay, some methods of selling. How are you going to be selling? Also, that has to be considered. And name of the shop. Just don't wake up and go a shop. Okay, I mean, the name of the shop is going to be the shop. No, it has to have something. You can use the name of the name you're going to give the shop as a form of advertisement. You can give it a funny name so that people start talking about it. In the old days, I think there were many shops with funny names and we knew them just like that. Or it can be something that talks about your brand, the type of Maxco you are selling. Okay, so the name of the shop is very important to consider. You just don't wake up and give it a name. Some would prefer to give the shop their name, but of course, if that's not helping the business to grow, then that's not good. Also, you have to think of right quantities of goods that should be stocked. Okay, not you have a retail, you're selling sugar and you always have two pieces of sugar or 2 packets of sugar, which maybe if you're selling in town, there is high demand, there is high traffic, so they finish in 1 hour. So after 1 hour, you don't have sugar. Okay, so you have to make sure, okay, since this place seems to be busy, I need to have on a daily basis this amount of goods in stock. Also, very important, advertisement. How to inform the customers about the shop. How are people going to know? As of recent, in town, they record, they record a voice which keeps on saying, my tropical panel, my tropical panel, my tropical panel. It keeps on saying that. That's a way of letting people know that you are selling that item at that location. So you have to think about innovative way to let people know about the shop. You can use Facebook, you can use different means, which of course is a topic on its own. Okay, now we start talking about the location now. Okay, we have talked about all those issues that should be considered. Now we're going to pin we're going to pin down to location just. Okay, so what factors should you consider when choosing the location of a retail shop? Okay, first is the cost of the site. Okay, you want to establish a shop in town. Yeah, in town there are a lot of people, so you're going to have business, but it's expensive. Okay, so you have to think of the cost. If you can manage the cost, then go for it. But if you can't manage the cost, look for somewhere where you can manage the cost of the site or the place you're going to establish the business. You also have to think how much competition is there. Okay, you can't establish a shop that sells Maxco when there are other shops that are selling Maxco, and those shops, they always have they always have customers such that they are always yes, they do have customers, but they don't run out of stock, meaning that at the end of the day they still have lots of Maxcos in stock. Okay, so you're going to establish your shop there. It's going to be a bit difficult because you have to share the customers, meaning that your business and their businesses are going to be slow. Of course, maybe they have there's customer loyalty, they work well with customers trust them, so people would want to go to them, not you, since you are new. Okay, so you have to think about competition. And competition is what makes business. Okay, there are some people who are so dangerous, or who are so what's the word, who are so, I don't know, okay, maybe it's dangerous, but they can just outcompete you. You have a shop, you are doing well, you are making money, lots of customers. someone says, oh, there's business here, they come and establish the shop near you, okay, they know that you have customers, then they are going to reduce the price by much, okay, and they'll be operating on a loss. For example, a package of sugar you are ordering at 30 kwacha, then when you sell, you are making 40 kwacha, profit 10 kwacha. But them, they will be ordering at 30 kwacha, and the savings, and when they sell, they are getting, or they are making 10 kwacha, making a loss of 20 kwacha. They don't care. They just want to outcompete you to get your customers. Then after a year or two, you are gone. Then they get your customers. Then they normalize the prices. Okay, it can be you doing that, that tactical approach in competition. Okay, so competition has to be considered very, very critical. Also, do you have enough customers? Okay, do you have enough customers? Okay, in an effort to run away from competition, you go and establish your shop in the bush where there are no people. Who's going to buy? Okay, you also have to think of trade growth. How is your business going to grow? Okay, are you going to be able to establish more retail shops in the same area or what? Also, security of the shop. Are you going to, of course, when you leave some things there, are they going to be secure? Okay, so all that has to be considered. You have to think of transport and communication facilities. How are you going to be moving from your home to the shop? Okay, how are you going to communicate with your customers? Okay, all those issues have to be considered. Of course, in the old days, communication wasn't that much, yeah, but in these days, communication is vital. Okay, so if there are communication facilities, maybe there is a cheap payphone somewhere, or maybe there is network. You can have a location that doesn't have network. Okay, yes, transport is there, but there's no network. So how are you going to make orders from your suppliers? How are you going to communicate with your customers? So all that has to be considered. Okay, sources of supply. Okay, my suppliers, where are they? Okay, how long is it going to take to bring those items from the source to the location? All that has to be considered. Okay, and of course capital, which we have already tackled. Then there's also price of goods. The price of goods that you are going to be selling in that location. Are people going to buy? Okay, you want to be selling sugar maybe at 50 kwacha, and it's in the village where people don't have money. So all that has to be considered. Accessibility to the shop. Are people going to find the shop? Okay, you go in town in Osaka, Finde House, maybe floor number whatever, you have a shop there, and you think people are going to access it with easy. Nope. Parking space, of course, if of course you bring your goods maybe in a vehicle, you need somewhere you're going to be parking your vehicle. Okay, to just wrap up on this, let's talk about pre-sale services. Okay, what we're doing here, of course, we're still on retail. Now we're looking at those features of retail. Pre-sale service, we're also going to look about a feature called e-commerce, which is also a type of retail activity. Okay, so we start with pre-sale. Like I said, pre-sale service are services that are offered before the actual sale. Okay, so they can also be called self-service store. That is a store that offers pre-sale services. Can also be considered to have self-service store. Okay, so what are these? Okay, such a store should provide trolleys to customers so that they're able to choose their goods and put in a trolley. Okay, before actual sale has been made, or before they buy. Okay, they should also sell packaged, branded, and priced goods. It doesn't need a customer to go in a shop that has pre-sale services or self-service store to when they look at an item, they go and ask someone, how much is this? How much is this? No. Okay, a self-service store should have prices already. You look at the price, you see the price, then you, oh, okay, I know the price of this, and you make a decision if you want to buy it or not. Okay, should also have large trading space so that people can easily navigate the space. Okay, should offer additional customer facilities such as car park, because some people need to park their car, then they go in the shop and spend time there choosing what they want to buy. Okay, should have 2 or more checkout points where cashiers collect payment from customers. Okay, so you shouldn't have a queue where a lot of people are just waiting to make a payment. Okay, should have 2 or more points where people can make the payments. Okay, also should sell goods at cheaper prices and may belong to a large retail chain. Okay, meaning that it's a brand like Young Philos and they're just everywhere. Okay, so that's a good self-service store. Also should buy direct from producers at factory prices. So instead of buying from wholesale, who are also trying to make profit, a self-service store should buy direct from the producers, from the ones who are making items. Wholesale buy from the producers. So retail with such service should buy from the producers, and this is the only way the prices of goods can be cheap. Next, look at e-commerce. Okay, so what is e-commerce? E-commerce is just selling of goods and services on the internet, on social media, on Facebook, on eBay. Okay, so that's that is e-commerce. So what are some of the features or characteristics of e-commerce? Okay, first, it is also called online shopping. Okay, customers can buy goods from the comfort of their homes. You are just sitting, you order something, then something is even delivered using Yango Daily. Okay, that's the characteristic of e-commerce. Okay, also customers do not need to travel to buy goods. Actually, why am I using other businesses if I can use mine, Blue Gum? Okay, you don't need to come to a physical location to learn. Okay, you can learn at the comfort of your home. Okay, so customers do not need to travel to buy goods. Also, sellers have a worldwide market. It's not just selling in Lusaka, it's selling the whole Zambia, it's selling the whole Africa, because online anyone can access the platform anywhere. Okay. Okay, buyers are also able to look for the goods 24 hours daily and 7 days a week. Okay, there's nothing like, oh no, they are not working, they have closed. No, you anytime 01 you can order. Okay, online customers are able to access a variety of goods and services. Okay, it's easy, you just tune your phone, you just pass in the list of goods. So those are the features of e-commerce. So most of these things are easy to understand. Okay, so we have looked at all the characteristics of retail. Now we look at 2 types of retail, which are small scale retail and large scale retail. We start with small scale retail. Okay, so a small scale retail is just a retail that one person owns. Okay, it has limited capital. Okay, it doesn't have enough capital to run the business. It's just a small amount of capital. That's why it's small. And it cannot advertise on a national scale, because advertising on a national scale means reaching out to a lot of people, and that is very expensive. You need good money. Okay, and again, okay, I think I have said enough. Also, it does not employ skillful workers to run the business. Okay, it can employ people who are not trained or educated to do the job. Okay, it does not have large capital to expand the business, other than not having enough capital to run the business, or just having enough capital to run a small business. It does not have a large capital to expand the business. Okay, let me say that again. Other than having a small amount of capital to run the small business, it also does not have a large capital to expand the business, to grow the business. Okay. It also open the business for long hours. It can open at 05 and close at 21 hours. Okay. They also offer personal service to customers. They are located in townships, most of them. Okay. They also have unlimited liability, since most small retail businesses are owned by sole traders. So unlimited liability simply means in case there is a loss, the owner is the one who's going to suffer. Okay, why? Because these small scale retail are most of the times owned by a sole trader. A sole trader is a person who runs a business without others, just on their own. So we go to main characteristics of a large scale retailer, okay, which is the opposite of a small scale retailer. So these ones, they are goods that are bought in bulk, direct from manufacturers at factory prices. They have their own transport and warehousing facilities to keep the goods. Then they can afford to employ experts to run businesses. They are able to advertise on national scale. They offer self-service and they provide customer facilities such as restaurants, car parks, filling stations, hair salons. A good example is ShopRite. So another thing that we mentioned on small scale retailers is they are found in townships. Okay, townships are places like Kanyama, Chawama. Those are townships. Okay. On the other side, the large scale retailer, they are located in town centers. Okay, town centers were the ones we call mutown. Okay, and different parts of large cities. Okay, they offer a variety of goods. They most of the times they belong to a chain of stores. Okay, a chain of stores like uh, Yanfilos. You know, it's not just one. They are everywhere. ShopRite, they are everywhere. Okay, they offer after sales service to the customers. Okay, we discussed what we had discussed what after sales service are. I mean what after sales services are. They also have large amount of capital as compared to small scale retailers. They sell their goods at competitive prices. They just don't wake up and put prices. They make sure that they attract you in case you want to think of buying somewhere else. They have an attractive display of goods in appropriate sections to encourage impulse buying. Impulse buying is buying where you don't think. You just look at something, I want to buy this. Okay, that's impulse buying. So they make sure that the price is very attractive, even the display is very attractive, so that they just force you to buy. Okay, in case you don't understand most of these things, just visit ShopRite. You understand all these points. Okay. They use loss leaders to attract customers into the shop. Okay, before I can even conclude, I rushed a bit. Loss leaders, what are loss leaders? Loss leaders is a situation where you sell at a loss so that people are attracted. Okay, you sell at a loss so that people are attracted to your shop. Okay, so that's what loss leaders mean. So this marks the end of the lesson. See you in the next lesson.